start off picks and bans.
Okie dokie. Some crowd control focused out right out of the bat here as far as the Ashe ban. All right, interesting. I'm wondering how this bottom lane will develop then. Obviously, the bottom lane was critical in the last game with the Caitlyn Lulu super push.
I already like the AD carry pinches as well, making sure Wild Turtle won't get that after they're saying, hey, at first pick for us may be quite big for our bot lane.
Yeah, Lulu's still on the board.
Yeah.
Lulu would be the go-to first pick if TSM decide not to take it off the board here.
At this point, we also see the teams just separating those decisions of Lulu, Kate. They say, you know what, just ban Kate. Give him Lulu. We feel like we can deal with Lulu, or give him Kate.
And the thing is why you go for the Lulu pick. Lulu can be used with multiple things. That's why she's good for the first pick. Also, she doesn't really have counters. You don't really have like super bad lane matchups for Lulu or anything like that. Or even during the team fight phase. TSM have opted to go for the Caitlyn side of the matchup to cut off here. I still think Lulu all around quite good, even if you don't have that option to pair with Lulu.
Yeah.
See if FlyQuest actually want to go that route or try and pick up jungle though, because that's the other thing that's
the leave up.
Slimmed down here a little bit with the Graves and Rengar. And wow, man, the first pick Gragas really does come back. I've been playing a lot of Gragas only in practice tool to try and really get a handle on the new delayed ultimate, and there are definitely a lot of super fun combos. They're very difficult to pull off. But as we've said, it's one of the most versatile junglers. You can disengage or engage. You can go for early plays. You can build tank early on, which really increases the power of your mid-game team fighting. Being able to have health as a go-to first stat is incredibly effective if you are fighting a lot early, and especially around dragons.
I was going to say, we also saw Someday on it yesterday, lock and rumble. So
yeah, it's good.
Rumble to the top.
Really good point there, though, Riv. The flexibility of the champion not only applies to your play style, but the lanes you can go to.
Very, very helpful in that sense. And powerful in both situations. Camille and the Lulu getting locked in, so a little bit more safety as Haunter dives in for the ultimatums here. That won't be on elimination this time. That's Karma.
Yeah, exactly. On the other side, Karma has been the go-to pick into Lulu. Basically, the few champions that does not lose the lane. Can do very similar things as far as the shielding. Her poke is comparable. We'll see here. Jungle actually does end up getting matched, so we have all roles matched here. And I would expect a little bit of mid lane focus as far as second round of bans, especially from TSM, as typically teams have looked to try and force high down into a more expected pick and try and attack his champion pool. Bjergsen with one of the more robust champion pools as far as mid lane. And there they go, starting with the Orianna. As expected, some mid lane focus.
I see, if they can, TSM picking up Syndra and Thresh here as just almost an old composition that's playing through my head, besides the Camille, since that wasn't here 2 seasons ago. But could be great for them to lock that in and finish out the comp. Talon is banned out once again towards high. Cassiopeia, and maybe the Syndra actually does get banned. What will they decide to focus?
Yeah.
Still
this is 7.5 for everyone wondering why Ryze is not really showing up so much.
Yeah.
Definitely got some more nerfs. People still feeling out the viability of the champion, but definitely gut reaction is those were fairly significant. King of the hill of 80 carries, Ezreal once again. It is one of the ones that you're not as excited when you pair him with Lulu, because it doesn't quite benefit as much off of the attack speed steroid, but still, just in his own there, Ezreal incredibly safe, incredibly good damage scaling on the champion, and anytime you have a lot of mobility, and then Lulu now gets to pick and choose her targets, she doesn't have to do protect the AD carry. You can do protect the Camille jumping in, and you know you're locked inside that cage. Now he also has Lulu buff and all these things like. It does give you a lot of options here, so even though maybe not full advantage of the attack speed, hey, Camille likes attack speed too. Give the top laner a little love there, maybe.
What's terrifying? Sword legs. What's even more terrifying? Big sword legs.
Big sword legs with glitter all over them.
That stuff gets everywhere. You don't want that. Ooh, Hylock's in the Zed to come in here. So a little assassin play to cause TSM some chaos in these fights, but you also are up against Lulu. But we saw this last time. He can pick into a matchup like that and still play strong.
Ooh, this is one of the reasons why so many teams do like to focus bans on high. I feel like every time he starts to get pressured in the bans, he goes, all right, let's go, Assassin. You know, bring it to me. I'm going to go for the kills.
It turns more into a composition, or as that challenge has been put out there. I take challenge.
Honestly, though, no reason to really deviate from this Vlad. Very strong pick at the moment. A lot of the answers have been banned out. Do have to watch for the Ignite kills, and basically it's cooldown tracking as far as this matchup goes, because obviously Vladimir does have answers for the Zed with his pool and builds into Zhonya's very easily.
Yeah.
If he wants to actually raise priority on that item in his build path, he can. Luckily for FlyQuest, they actually have a fairly rounded team composition here with a lot of magic damage coming from the top side and the jungle, and that might make choices a little bit more difficult from Bjergsen. The other thing we didn't really touch on there, though, Riv, is the return of the Varus. A lot of nerfs coming through as far as Deathfire Touch, as well as 15% of the top end damage off of the spam. But that just brings back around some more of the attack speed oriented builds.
Yep.
And we'll see what he does decide to go with here. We've seen, you know, Hurricanes plus Infinity Edge, you know, Blade of the Ruin King is still an option.
Oh, taking that extra time. How dare you? No, coaches are going to head off. After final words with the players, you can see the split of lighting. TSM now versus FlyQuest on either side. The crowd is ready. And we are going to hashtag FlyWin or hashtag TSM win. And see that vote as we get into the match. You can hear the crowd.
I like the battling chants here. Pretty good cheers from both sides, honestly. Usually the crowds are overwhelmed by TSM ones, but that was I think well coordinated.
Some of the TSM members were saying, let's go TSM. And they're like, wait, we only need the tri-code chant. Then you just hit TSM and
all right.
Gets louder.
Do or die time here for TSM. Game number 1 did go over to FlyQuest. TSM definitely has a good history of fighting back in these best of series. But FlyQuest, high on his highlight champion Zed. Always remember back to Worlds where they were playing against Samsung and he's trying to sneak up through the backdoor inhibitors, going through the fog of war, shadow plays.
Mission Impossible Zed.
Yeah. All right. Honestly, though, defensive fans from both sides. And no advance warning yet. Could still go for a little bit of a late invade. Doesn't look like it's going to be the case. Both teams are semi-defending their raised camps. Aha! Bio's going to get in there. Oh no!
Successful vision. The game sways.
That's TSM Ward right there.
Yeah.
Much like TSM itself, Ward only has one more hit left for this series. Here we go, though. Will Balls actually move up there? Nope.
Yeah.
All he needs is to be able to see the Raptor moving around. That will give you the position for Svenskeren. They know he's starting here. There's not really a surprise. Don't believe Honster took one of them. But he is going to head right back up there into that same matchup. Yeah, he didn't take one. You can tell because you need all the small ones to get your level 2, which is why I always say it's so critical for Kha'Zix, so you can get your isolated Qs off. But also good for at least execute damage there. Moves right into the red. Now this actually could transition into a really early gank top. I think Svenskeren is actually set up well to do that because Rumble perma pushes. He hasn't gone to the lane to ward, but they're not going for it. All right. Now, I'll explain the other side. Devil's advocate for why you wouldn't go for that early gank is that if you gank that side and it's not successful, even if it is successful, Moon can move in and steal your blue quadrant because they'll see that you don't have your blue buff, and obviously it's such an early gank.
Yep.
They'll know that that side of the map is open. So that's one of the reasons against it. I always do favor the side of just going for it, though, especially in a critical matchup like Camille Rumble, which can be swayed pretty heavily.
You actually see Moon has done no buffs to start things off here. Raptor Krug's base in his pathing to begin. 16 CS for him as he grabs a bit of the higher variety of minions.
To me, I would assume he took more damage than he thought on the Raptors. I actually haven't been practicing the Raptor into Krug start. Don't know if it's usual that you'll have to get that low, but that is all a lot of the high numbers camp. So he did get the extra experience first. before transitioning over here to the blue buff. And he'll have a different timing on his buffs as well, which is interesting to keep track of how teams can use that, because not only will you have longer lasting buffs on your first round into the game, but your buffs will respawn a bit later, and that does throw off the blue timing.
Right.
Now, it's not critical for Zed to get handed off blue. Normally, you do still hand off blue to him for the energy regen and cooldown on spamming, but we'll keep track of that as far as the second round invades. Basically, second round of buff spawns has always been one of the more critical timings.
I wonder if that does play into effect of obviously Balls seeing them topside. If he had not, maybe they would have went through a regular path. It'll be interesting to see how they feel about it later. If they're able to get the victory, you can ask in the interview. So now on to his red. He may be able to start this bot lane, which is pushed up just past half. Not a whole lot to control a kill as they are slippery, but he has options.
Yep, good defensive vision from TSM in all areas except this path that Moon is taking. Blast cone over, he's behind the bottom lane.
Yep.
We should definitely look at the bottom lane because that is the double buff Groggy.
Ooh, that looks like a flash body slam.
Yes, sir, it does. Turtle.
Oh,
no.
Turtle gets it. Oh, he actually goes for Biofrost to hold him. Throws to the right. One last auto on a Turtle. Inner Flame's going to go off as well, but Haunter teleports down. Gets that shield from his passive to stay safe. A Glitter Lance now from Biofrost on with the help picks. Means both of them are slowed. Nicely used. That's going to be a double buff for top lane. Haunter's going to be having some fun.
Yeah, he is, and actually this bottom lane push could get real heavy here. Haunter's gonna recall and go get the minions, but Haunter having control of that top lane wave, all the minions are pushed up. He is the one jumping right on that teleport when, oh, Lemon!
Is it the kill? Throws on the Frenzy. Not enough damage to follow up, unfortunately.
Ooh, yeah, Svenskeren give him a bit of a scare there. Now, this is a FlyQuest play where they want to get both kills here. Wow, Moon actually got the knock on both of them. Still flashing while he had the exact state on that body slam. Haunter, though, as we said, comes in first, had control of the minion wave, even though it was FlyQuest making the gank move. And also at the same time, while Moon did go Blast Cone over the Dragon Pit, Svenskeren was going for an invade on this red quadrant, so it didn't take Svenskeren a long time to get down there either. And TSM do come away with the extra kill there, even though FlyQuest did get the first kill, so they got the bonus first blood, and the gold remains fairly close still.
Lanes as well, not seeing too much of a discrepancy off that. Things that can be made up here, so all even. Starting things off with a little aggression.
Main story after all that aftermath. Haunter got 2 of the kills. He's level 6. He also has a Tiamat, and he's taking balls pretty low.
Oh, he actually went down to the bottom side of that ultimate. Ball still has a bit of that fire left from Equalizer. Oh, he's going to go down to a burn. No, he will stay alive. He eats that potion, the corrupting potion, just in time.
By the smallest of margins. And Haunter, 3 kills to his name on the split pusher, Camille. This is the way that split push teams want their top laners to start out. Haunter, very well set up to carry this.
Great fight to take in the minions. Had they not been there, though, Ball's probably coming up with that kill. We'll see down to the bot lane. Not too much action, but they are definitely trying to trade damage here to start something off.
Yeah. Man, that was extremely close there. A lot of minion damage making a big difference. And FlyQuest, let's see what they can strike back with. Invading on the bottom side. They're focusing this bottom lane here. There are only flash on Biofrost, so it's a possibility. They also know there's no teleport.
And Bio says, let's go.
Yep.
Mid's missing. You have to at this point. A little too scary for the bot lane.
They still could force down that turret, though.
Yeah.
So as we go for this replay, we'll have to check back in whether they went for the first turret gold or not. Here we go, though. Balls trying to chase Haunter off. All the minions here dying as the AoE went off. Oh, man, that was just... All right, yeah, they did get a lot of damage on the turret, but it's not low enough to really make that call for first turret gold yet.
Pink's still going down on that bot side.
And again, the distinct blues here. Moon can go for this steal and then get back to his other side to hand off to Pi if they so choose.
Or you can just stay stacked, honestly. He is on Zed. Still helps him out a little bit with that energy. Level 6 for Balls now. Teleports up for him. Doesn't look like FlyQuest is as active last time this game. They've been kind of fending off TSM with their aggression here to start things. Monster in that teleport to start things off. And he's going to go ahead and roam a little bit more. There's vision here, but possibly a kill.
Oh yeah, Monster is holding a lot of the power for TSM, and it looks like High might be his next target. He's going around behind the turret. Pearson, they're waiting for him to shove this wave.
That's exactly what they wanted. Now as he goes to retreat behind the turret, he'll pull back to the shadow, right into the arms of Haunter for Death's Embrace.
Pretty easy as far as that one picks up, but Bio, whew,
A little too close for comfort on that one. Gets drunk under the table. And Moon comes up with a helpful assist on Elimination's kill, as well as Altec there.
the Camille definitely is a factor. He lost a couple of minions going for that play mid, but definitely High gonna feel that one as well. The Zed already falling behind in CS, and life does get hard for Zed. I don't know if Balls actually goes for this. I guess it's just a harassment move, but life does get fairly hard. Oh, he's actually gonna go finish it.
Yes, he's so hesitated to go in for the kill, and he's probably gonna lose his life for it. Hesitation comes back and bites him.
That is adding more fuel to the fire, or just more fire to the fire. Haunter now with 5 kills on the split push champion.
But the juicy shutdown.
Oh man, yeah.
Almost.
That is going to be a tilter for FlyQuest. Regardless, what I was about to go into for Zed, the problem he's going to be seeing here, especially versus a Lulu composition, you already brought up the difficulties of later on trying to get executions on Vladimir. The split pusher is super fed here with the Camille, and then the Lulu is going to be protecting the AD carry. So the options for High later in the game will be very difficult, and this CS deficit is going to be hard to work with. But this right here, Balls goes in. And just to add a little bit of insult there, flashes at the end. Yeah. Face palm.
We've
right
all
there.
felt it. Oh, we've all felt it.
Okay, have we all felt the 5-0 Camille teleporting into bottom lane, though? Woo!
Well, growth.
Yeah, not so bad.
Quick kick. Yeah, not too bad. Didn't call Balls down, though. Okay, Svenskar in there. The lane is evened up in the top side, so he's for minions, that is, so I have a little time.
High getting some damage dealt into the mid lane, and TSM do cancel the entire play. They lose minions mid lane. They're going to lose some minions top lane as well. And Cloud9, or FlyQuest, oh my god. I'm going to say that so much with these players. Here we go, though. Now they're heading into the brush on the bottom side.
See if they can get some more kills on the other members of TSM. If Haunter gets killed in these fights, you're going to be looking at members who are really just sitting on assists right now and not too many completed items. That's going to be Biofrost right back. The focus resolve lockdown from Elimination in the follow-up from the team as well. Not actually too many spells were used there. A flash and an ult from Moon.
This is where that earlier damage that FlyQuest got to do to the bottom side with their roam of High and Moon actually finally pays off for them, as they do get the first turret bonus gold and pull ahead in gold. Now remember, the power for TSM is all in their solo laners. 5 kills on Haunter, and then the CS lead for Bjergsen in the mid lane. Those are the 2 strengths that they have to work with, whereas FlyQuest would like to make it more of a team game and not answer split pushing. Like to get some more of that team fighting off for themselves if they can.
Especially for High. You mentioned earlier the Lulu, but no items is going to make that even more difficult. Currently sitting on just about 12, near 1,300 gold right now for him, so a lot of power he has gone back to buy, or yet buy, I should say. More pushing from Haunter. He'll even get solo gold off this, most likely. Once he has the time to take it down, Altec and the rest of the team start to shift towards the top side.
Yep, with the bottom turret taken, the cavalry has arrived to the top side, switching your duo up top. Just like last game, even though it's quite a bit further in the game this time around. Now, you still have to be super cautious if you're FlyQuest rotating up here. For the very reason the observers are showing right now. Could be any number of champions lurking in the brush. Bjergsen comes up for the dive as well.
Yeah.
They scare him off.
It's the last piece of the puzzle there to say, we either fight, we show more and don't need to fight, and that's what happens. They show enough power on the top side, it pushes Fly off, and they look towards mid.
Yeah, I think you need to run off of mid lane here and retreat to the dragon if you are FlyQuest. And that's exactly what Moon's doing. He's actually starting it up already. There is a ward in that little pixel brush, so TSM will know that they have headed this way. No ward on the actual dragon itself to see the health though, so it's a little early from Turtle, but he's had so much luck actually, or skill I guess, with getting the blind objective steals. Definitely worth the shot.
Another Cloud Drake to fly. Seems like from game to game appropriate for them. And Mountain Drake will be next.
Yeah.
See where the play comes from for here. Not too much of a gap separating as both teams will back. Wards more into the defensive position at this point for both TSM and FlyQuest. Doesn't seem like Moon's start, whether intentional or not intentional, has really affected the game all too much. Just something different. I would say, nope. I would say it's a transfer to Wild Turtle, but it still goes to Sphinx.
I too would have said that would be an optimal transfer to Wild Turtle. Ezreal, one of the most annoying users of the red buff for the enemy team. Would optimally like him to have that actually. Not the biggest of deals though. We shall see. Svenskeren still is on this side of the map. A lot of defensive vision so far for both teams, considering it's still fairly close here. See if this lane gank actually can pay off. Now this is not a mobility boots elite. You can, actually mid lane.
Ooh, Protobelt only hitting about 2 of the missiles. Emo play goes down, flash forward. Tides of blood washes high away. Another kill coming into the mid lane.
The Protobelt Vladimir takes his toll. Can Lemonation pay for it?
Long cooldown on Pool. It doesn't look like he has the damage to get in though.
As cool as the support role has developed, and the extra power that's gone into it with the last couple seasons of changes, still not at the point where finish that one off.
Soon, Kobe. Just soon.
They're just gonna get stronger and stronger and stronger every season.
Why not? Happens to everybody else. Everyone else gets stronger. 25-5 to 24, still just creeping up. Very, very even between both teams. Waiting for that opening fight to happen here. Like we said, Fly wants to meet these fights 5 on.
Yeah.
It looks like TSM's trying to keep Turtle and Biofrost in the back while the front line does quite a bit of damage.
Again, huge strengths for TSM in their solo lanes. Not really a surprise there, but it's extremely apparent this game. Bjergsen actually could just chase High around, whatever lane High goes to try and meet him there, now that he's got his Seekers and Protobelt. The Zhonya's soon to come will just make that even more of a one-sided affair. Meanwhile, 5 kills on Camille, already past the Queen Force, has the AoE to annihilate waves. Hanser basically king of the jungle right now as he's going for the red quadrant invade here. He's gonna have to settle for some wards.
Interesting little hit. Himself out safely. Hanser back to the bot side to create a little bit of pressure here as they start to try and spread Fly thin.
And again, FlyQuest are actually the ones that actually implement these split pushing strategies quite often. So now they're the ones that feel the pressure of constant side wave pressure that we actually can't answer.
Yep.
And we need to force a team play somewhere else. Currently, TSM actually group up around this mid lane. Finish off. The tower's just so low. They're just going to look for a couple of Trinity Force attacks. Oh!
Wow.
That's a force.
The repel out as well. He can't fall too far. A nice wild growth. Svenskeren may actually make it out alive. Finally goes down to Altec. High is met halfway by Hanser. Forced to get himself out of that one. It was not a flash, it was a shadow. And he is safe for the day. I see how they continue.
There we go though, on to Lemon is Hanser, but he's getting attacked now.
Ultimatum, a little bit of invincibility there for a second where he can't be targeted, and it looks like he can continue the fight with his team. Goes back over the wall, a kill for him. Camille onto Balls' Rumble, and they finalize a kill onto him. 8-5 here. Things are getting messy in the mid lane.
Monster Vladimir is able to save the little skirmish in the mid lane, but regardless, I think the best option for TSM a couple minutes ago was to keep their side lane pressure. There's not really an answer for Bjergsen on the FlyQuest side, or for a 1v1 with Hanser for that matter, and TSM can return to this split push, side lane pressure, and force FlyQuest again into a very small area. You can see what they were going for there, though. TSM were like, okay, it's only a few more hits on this turret. Turtle does have a Trinity Force, so if you sneak the Ezreal in there for a quick couple autos on the turret, then they can take that one down and open up the map to further warding.
It is an interesting thought process, right? Do this, then the side lanes will be easier when they could have stayed there. And it caused a little bit of trouble.
Definitely did. And at this moment, FlyQuest are feeling quite good about their defense. And Haunter, even the re-engage from Haunter was a little bit risky, but we see again the power of Vladimir in the current state, team fighting, especially with Proto Belt. As TSM, the rest of the squad wasn't even close actually when Haunter went in for that, but Bjergsen's able to finish this one up, chasing off most of the members. The only thing that actually made it go even there was the snipe by Altec at the end with his Varus. And as we said, High is going to have such a hard time this game, and things do get more and more difficult as time goes on. The Zonias is completed now for Bjergsen as well. It becomes even more threatening to the backline.
And this is exactly what High was talking about before. If the team is behind, they're still finding small things that create motivation for the team. Keep the team happy and keep the team communicating. Seems like Dragon's going to be that next possibility, but more so a force from TSM on the contest. Doesn't look like the Smite fight will come through, but the resulting fight may as Bjergsen goes forward. Emo Plague tides of blood onto 2 and almost drops those members of FlyQuest. How do FlyQuest reply? It's going to be High all the way to the back of the fight. They do get Sven Skaren, but it's a trade for High himself. And now it's just kind of a dance out back and forth, not enough long range to keep it going. And they back out before they lose any more on either side.
Yeah, kills traded once again. Bjergsen doing a pretty good job of zoning there, 1v5, and comes back out to the re-engage of FlyQuest.
Yep.
They were able to again snag Sven Skaren for a kill. 1-for-1 in the end, but the Drake this time over to TSM. To Drake will help out with their split pushing ways to make the turrets even more trivial for Hunter to deal with.
Yep. Double Triforce as well for TSM. They meet any of these structures or team fights. Quite a big power spike for them at the moment. Zanya's finished for Bjergsen, as we saw, so he can be more of a nuisance with pooling, belting, and getting into a different position where you think he'd be. That's the chaos Vladimir creates now that he has these items. 2-0-2. Using it to great effect. Still a very close game overall. Just a few turrets need to be dropped for FlyQuest, and we're right back to the map being even.
Yeah, it does feel like it's going to be difficult for FlyQuest to pull off the perfect scenario, whereas it's a little bit easier for TSM to execute with these champions. I mean,
absolutely.
The Varus ultimate is a bit finicky. The Gragas ultimate is also very hard to deal with sometimes, the timing on it. And if all those things go correctly for FlyQuest, they can have a big impact, but that along with Rumble and all these things are a little bit more difficult to land as far as skill shot ultimates.
Quite nice damage there from Moon, especially on Bjergsen. Seeing the damage dealer take that much feels a bit more promising for fights regarding his focus.
Here's that 1-3-1 split push pressure we were talking about from TSM. Now they're actually, having Haunter and Bjergsen at the same time go into Fog of War and force some retreat in here from FlyQuest. Always got to keep guessing where these split pushers are. Decent amount of warding and defenses here have been set up.
The 1-3-1 versus the 1-3-1.
Yeah,
gonna have to happen.
It's just that FlyQuest side of it is purely defensive.
Yep.
And that always poses a problem. Let's see, there are 2 Scrying Orbs currently for FlyQuest, one coming off of cooldown. The Baron Baits do start to become an issue. Another thing that Mountain Drake will assist with. Looks like Hunter actually may have gone in for a deep trade there.
See a flash from Altac as he went in. May have been a quick hit. No ultimatum used though. They're just going to go in and make sure this turret goes down. 2 minions for the assist. And finally, TSM is actually working quite a long time, pushing the waves up to just past half to get that turret. Flubbed it the first time, and now they're back, finally clean that up so they can get through the inner part of Fly's jungle. Once they actually get the wards there, see how aggressive they are with being able to control those past river.
I'm on a ward, but you're on a ward, so we both have friends coming, and it's going to be a 2v2.
Rumble might be a little better off on this one with his teammate, and it's High coming up with the first kill. No, actually Balls. High may be able to get one for himself here. Shadow's back. Kill is actually going to go over to Balls for the double kill. And High keeping out with a sliver of health there. Fly now to the mid lane as they get a little bit of breathing room to consider what to do now.
My friends can beat up your friends, so turns out pushing on bottom lane as well for FlyQuest. This is the first time they get some breathing room on the map to work with. Yeah. Anytime you're able to get kills like that in the side lane and push up the minion wave, you basically use that minion wave as some temporary vision to go set up wards for the next team fight. Here we go, though. Good reaction from FlyQuest. Both members, as we said, were on wards when it started. And then High, after getting dumping out that Zed combo, was able to jump back to his Shadow, so ensuring that is a 2-for-0 rather than 2-for-1.
Great overall thinking, too. Top wave could have been pushed. It was pretty close to the turret, but still decided to go bot side. Possibility of a play to be created. Fly is trying to keep options on the plate for themselves. That is that motivation they may have been looking for. Will be a little more assertive as they approach these fights. Top lane with some good pressure as FlyQuest starts to set up around that Baron pit, giving themselves options to get a few of these fights.
Yeah. The Baron is definitely going to depend on which team can get a pick here, or which team actually gets a good initiation from Fog of War. That can go a long way when both squads have quite a bit of damage at their disposal. See here, once again, both split pushers fading into the Fog of War. Not really a hard commitment here.
True shot barrage over Baron, making sure they can get some wards, and you see TSM now feeling comfortable that they can make their way and clear out FlyQuest wards. Very much so playing as a team here. This next fight will tell quite a bit for these 5 or 10 minutes.
Yeah, Vision trading hands here. TSM are able to move in after that barrage. And you take the first step, push up the minions. It's basically the vision around Baron goes to whichever team just got the last push on the side waves, because the other team has to go handle them and show their solo laners. Even though both bottom laners now, previously top laners, have a teleport ready.
Nice positioning. Bjergsen on the top side getting that wave prepped. Bot wave by Haunter the entire time. Cloud Drake is theirs as you see Fly try to recuperate on getting more wards forward and just clearing out these waves. Power in numbers. High should be able to get this top turret without any problem, and the team can start to work elsewhere.
Yeah, definitely still control over to TSM. Able to pick up some more movement speed for themselves, which is, decently important here in the split push game that they've been going through.
Actually backing on it. Quite low, but too many members. High doesn't feel comfortable on that one. It may just be for the next time when they have more vision up there.
I'm so curious how the next fight will break out, because I'm trying to theory craft the way these team fights goes, and they're actually, because there are so many offensive tools on both sides, it's difficult to play it out, and definitely does depend on who's the one with the Fog of War advantage. Currently, control wards extremely important here up on this Baron side of the map. FlyQuest have gotten a decent amount of defensive ones out. Really got to have so much respect for this level 16 Vladimir.
And he gets to work with basically against 0 crowd control, so the first hit is going to work. He can then either Zhonya's or pool, so it's 100% chaos from Bjergsen in the beginning and almost complete safety to escape. Exhaust as well for when High comes in. They don't have that for Bjergsen, so his damage is going to stick.
And TSM have made an interesting switch here, where they've opted to use Bjergsen as, instead of the solo lane who's unanswerable up on top side, basically the immovable wave clear in mid lane as Vladimir, and they sent Turtle and Bio up top to get that push going this time around. The vision is slowly turning in TSM's favor, though, as they're inching up further and further, and now they're going for the bottom side play. Big chunk on the balls.
Interesting hit. Zhonya's Flash forward as well for himself. This is actually TSM getting themselves into a sticky situation. That's going to be Haunter going down after one more shot. No, he's going to live. Beautifully done by Haunter to get a little bit of HP back there. Moon has just been left now stunned that he wasn't able to pick up the kill there. The rest of the team filing in, and TSM not looking too bad on something that started looking scary. They're going to get out safely.
Insane timing on the redemption there to get Haunter healthy enough for him to get over to the minions and get health back on the W. Ooh, the slimmest of margins, Riv. All right, let's take a look. Because the first redemption, Balls actually does his Zhonya's late here, so the FlyQuest redemption isn't able to land the heal since he's in Zhonya's, and then flashing away, he is still dead. In order to get that, though, TSM had to go so deep. Haunter walks just back in the edge. The slimmest of margins there. The edge of the redemption he gets into, then he gets to heal off the minions and make it out, but in the end, it is just one kill that went over. Definitely an exciting one kill, though.
I was just going to say, you're only 29 minutes in here. So much has been happening. It feels like we're so much later into these games. Probably going to give Bjergsen the what for. Should be able to, oh no! Locked up, knocked down. And as Balls goes down, actually, High goes down as well. We just saw Balls come back up from getting that Zhonya's down in the lane. He'll fall once again.
Them solo laners, Riv.
Yeah.
TSM playing to their strengths now, able to get solo kill or solo laner kills on opposite sides. Svenskeren was obviously very critical in the top one. This one was all Haunter, knowing that Balls had used his flash as well as his Zhonya's in the previous dive. Pretty easy target for him to chase down. Up on the top side, Svenskeren had that great cocoon to turn around High's aggression, and now it's going to be up to a Baron steal.
Oh boy, Altec, redemption comes down. He doesn't have heal, but they're going to get the last auto in.
Moon's inside!
What are they going to be able to do? Moon goes down, Baron goes down. That's TSM's a valiant attempt, as they were also trying to deny a turret going down in the base. That inhibitor turret's very close to going down still, and TSM's going to be coming in with Baron.
TSM has Baron. Haunter also has his teleport, so even though he won't have Baron, he can join up with the rest of the team after they've gotten these waves pushed. So they don't actually have to wait a super long time on the death timer here, and they're already sending Bjergsen out here to get bottom side rolling, while trying to get the other two lanes in their favor as well. Take another look at this one. Yeah, this one, if Moon had been able to steal away this one, it's a really bad thing for TSM. They make the correct call here to stop damage on Baron when you're faced with just one enemy, and it's the jungler. Everybody stop Baron, DPS him down while it's out of smite range, so there's no steal that has a possibility of going over, and they can actually use this one to push now. Let's see what they can get done with it.
Sounds so easy, Kobe, but sometimes that becomes chaos.
No?
Don't hit it, don't hit it. We have seen that go very bad sometimes.
Look at this FlyQuest move, actually. Everybody up to the top side, and there's three members. TSM are split.
There's only one ward in that side of the jungle. As long as they can prevent themselves from walking over it, they may find themselves an entry into this fight. And right now, that would be a split one. Bjergsen will be the first target, but they decide to keep power in numbers. All five with just High on the outside to peek around. He's basically the safest one to do so. As you said, those scrying orbs, making sure they can get themselves some far vision.
Ooh, King's onto mid lane here, but Camille pretty slippery, and Haunter's able to evade there.
Not too much damage each time they approach the turret. Towards mid, though, they're just worried about working mid lane right now. They really need the members top. They'll call for it, but they spread Lemon Nation now down to the mid. Altec is here as well. Top is going to be very scary soon to hold here for FlyQuest, as TSM will easily be able to walk over from mid as Haunter starts to do so.
Yeah,
May not even need to do
kill
it. Push
Camille. It's pretty bruisery right now as well, going the extra defenses coming in. Definitely will be a menace in the team fights. Not to mention, TSM also still in command of the Lulu pick. They can add those extra defenses over to whoever is focused. Scaling is really working quite well for them now. All the vision in their favor. Easily clean up the extra dragon.
moving quick, too. Another cloud in their favor. TSM most likely back off. We'll have a quick back due to Baron still being up for a few more seconds, and then back into the base. Elder Drake is obviously coming up next. That'll be your final elemental. And a 6-1-1 all-tech. Not with the safety of a Lulu this time. Doing what he can on this auto-attack Varus. Warlords in the end. So hopefully he can get those charges up and keep himself for alive a little bit longer, as these fights are getting pretty crazy, and TSM is really the one lasting in these extended fights.
Yeah, he's definitely going to be difficult for Altec to deal with the double dive of a Vladimir and Camille, both of which fairly heavily fed. Bjergsen's at pretty much a full build. I'd like to see that upgraded into a Medjai's for the ring, or you can always sell it and build your Void Staff. Wah wah. Medjai's are more exciting, honestly, though. Also exciting is watching if the Split Pusher will get too close to the bush.
Not this time.
Not today.
Takes a seat, goes back. Altec actually 1,700 gold for himself to be spent. As Wild Turtle goes to join the team bot side. Now it seems objective free on the map, being that Dragon and Baron down. TSM can work the bottom side here to make sure nobody comes in for the top side of Haunter, and he has safe push.
Yeah, they're taking their time, waiting for another objective to really pull FlyQuest around here. Currently, all three lanes are right up against the base. No hard commitment, though. They know they have a healthy amount of respect for the aggressiveness of FlyQuest. These are the guys that can go for 5-man all-ins, drop of a hat.
I'm wondering, they have a ward just by Pixel Brush near Baron, one just over by Wolves, which would be mid, probably alert TSM quite early. But if balls could get back there and deny the escape route, it might be something. You have to be very careful in these fights, though. TSM so strong right now, and they have to get the perfect ultimates on the side of FlyQuest. TSM is taking their time here.
Yeah, they're basically just starving out FlyQuest, keeping them locked inside their base with the constant tri-lane push here. All of your wards expire when you get pinned up in your base like this. You lose a lot of income because you don't get as many of the jungle camps. It makes you really take the long route around when you're trying to rotate between lanes. And you just generally lose smaller and smaller tiny advantages here as TSM wait for the big objectives to come back out. Baron will be 1 minute. Elder Dragon as well coming up fairly soon. And those are the things that they might be able to use to draw you out of the base. Currently, though, going back to the 4-1, and FlyQuest setting up for a possible desperate play here. A boom!
That's one hit. Beautifully done. Svenskeren and Wild Turtle take quite a hit there. As Sven goes down, you're going to see High falling very quickly in the result of the fight. On to Altec and Fly. Very nice, or Altec and Balls, I should say. Very nicely done. TSM able to just come in and clean up the fight. Locking things down, making sure the ultimatum was enough chaos to really turn FlyQuest on their head. Yeah,
and with those death timers, TSM might not mess around here. First inhibitor should be pretty easy. These minions can be also used to take down Nexus turrets, as the 3 carries are the ones who survived the team fight. Even though FlyQuest had a quick 2 kills, TSM looking to end.
This lead up to the one explosive fight, 37 minutes in. And TSM taking a very patient role in this one, are able to take game 2. TSM bring it to a game 3 versus FlyQuest.
True to form. TSM strike back in the series and even it up.
Well, this is bad for FlyQuest. They're 9-0 in game 3s for TSM. We heard it on the analyst desk. Oh boy. But we'll have to see. Can they break that record? This is the thing now. They have been double dared to break the 9-0 3-game. If they go to all 3 games for TSM, it was going to be very hard for FlyQuest to win that game. Looking at just the gold in the end, 15,000 for Haunter, 15,000 for Bjergsen. The only person that had 15,000 the other team to himself was Altec. So there was so much money across the team of TSM. They could probably take a few members on themselves. We saw Camille doing that, Haunter doing that as he played it a second time in a row for this one. And seems like he felt comfortable on it despite what happened in game.
Yeah, honestly, you know, a lot of good team play from FlyQuest and attempts at getting back in there. TSM solo laners were incredibly fed incredibly early on, and they were able to eventually utilize those. Good scaling on their side as well to add a little bit more confidence to the victory.
Absolutely, and we're getting a day of game threes. No problem here. For a closer look into how TSM tied up the series, let's hand it off to our analysts.
Thank you very much, Riv. Game threes might not be a problem for you, but they could be a problem for FlyQuest here, as TSM has yet to drop a game three this split. We'll find out soon enough. Let's first talk about game two here and the win put together by TSM. Kobe also mentioned the solo lanes, right? And how eventually the early goal that they picked up on their solo laners, they were able to utilize and close out the game. In particular, I want to look at the champion matchups that they had. We had Camille into Rumble in the top lane. We had Vladimir into the blind pick Zed from High.
I think just like we were talking about how if Zed is our Vlad, there we go. In the meta, it's very hard to blind pick Zed. Like it just becomes almost impossible without banning it out. And there are other bans, being the Cassio and the Syndra, like somewhat unlock the Zed as well. But if that's like your go-to safe blind pick, you're gonna be in a lot of trouble. It's very hard to get good matchups for Zed currently. And just taking it like that doesn't work currently.
I think if you wanted to pick the Zed, you should have just banned Vlad. And left up the Syndra, because that matchup has always been like okay for the Zed player. You have outplay potential, and Syndra's always been very susceptible to assassins.
Right, and the other thing that I like about it is then you're allowed to take the Syndra yourself if they don't take it in that first draft pick with the second phase of the draft. So I think just leaving up the Syndra, like you said, ban the Vladimir is a much better choice for them. Who knows why they didn't choose to do that, but it got punished.
It's
really
kind
hard.
of unfortunate, because what do we do? Right after game one, we're like, great, FlyQuest adjusting back to a more standard meta draft, and we see what they can do. This time around, it does again feel like they kind of picked themselves into a much more narrow focus, right? Of course, if the Zed by some chance gets rolling, could run away with the game, but you're setting yourself for that's a very steep hill to climb when you could have maybe picked something that would operate a little bit smoother. The other thing I want to look at, though, is that Camille Rumble matchup in the top lane, but mostly because of the way that Haunter was able to get himself an advantage by visiting other lanes. Of course, we had this TP in on the bot lane following the kill picked up by FlyQuest, gonna set Haunter up to then dominate that top lane matchup.
Right, and the Camille Rumble matchup is one that's definitely Rumble favored early on, but if the Camille is able to grab some early kills like this, she gets to control the lane a little bit. So the fact that she gets the double kills, gets the double buff, opens her up to actually force this trade a little bit later on. Now they're both 6. Well played by Haunter going in here. Not bad by Balls either. He almost is able to win this, but just not quite able to.
Yeah, I feel really bad for Balls, because he's been in multiple positions where like he's almost killed the other player.
Yep.
And there's 2 in this game alone. Another one following this onto the top lane tower dive.
And it's the kind of thing where it wasn't his fault either. Like it was the bot lane that gave the double kill over. So he was playing this matchup in the previous game, did fine in it. This time around, unable to do so. Does almost get this solo kill, but unfortunately doesn't play this one great.
Yeah, it is a strange thing, because with that TP bot lane pre-6, Camille feels a lot more impactful just because she has that hook shot, whereas like a level 4 Rumble TPing in there doesn't feel like it would have been as impactful in terms of covering the distance and actually skirmishing that fight out. So the double buffs, double kill go over, and then as you mentioned, Skara, 2 fights back-to-back where Balls almost ekes it out, just not quite so, and all of a sudden it's a 5-kill Camille in the top lane, and there's almost no coming back from that.
Yeah, and that's a big strength of Camille in general. Like, she doesn't lane the best. In fact, she probably lanes some of the worst of all the top lane carries. However, she has really, really good like skirmish and team fight potential, as well as like pick potential, and she scales really well from 2 items onward.
Player of the game going to Haunter, the man on your screen right there for the Camille play. And again, just the awareness that he has to visit the other lanes and do, it's not just looking for advantages in his own lane. He's looking for advantages elsewhere. He's able to pull it through for the team. What I want to do now is look forward to this 3rd game. All right, TSM has yet to drop one, but that means it's up to FlyQuest to do it all right here and keep that race for first within a 1-game slot. How does FlyQuest re-attack here in game 3? They're back on the on purple side, on red side, so they do get that counter pick in the mid lane if they so choose.
I think that's really big. I think the Camille Rumble matchup has mostly been fine. Like if they want to run that back again, do it. I think that's been going good for them, and I think like the mid lane is the big thing.
I think their saving grace has actually been their bot lane though. Like even though that game should have been over instantly, but Altec was actually able to keep them in the game with Lemon because he got so far ahead. Like they had a threat rather than having two lanes being down 50 CS or having 5 deaths.
And the big thing is that I think TSM, you're going to see them ban the Caitlyn away once again.
Okay.
They got destroyed in game 1. Game 2, they banned it out. Sure, Altec still does really good on the Varus, but it's not like they're getting crushed under their turret, and they were able to fight back a lot better in just like that 2v2 that you see.
All right, but we're still looking for some laning power then in the bot lane on the side of FlyQuest. So even if the Caitlyn goes out, what do you substitute in for that? Stay with the Varus, which can be a little bit more aggressive, or do you sit on an Ezreal, for example, that will still scale really well into the late game?
I don't like Ezreal.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't personally like the Ezreal for all tech. If they want to do the Varus, that's fine. Maybe even something like the MF that can like, just anything that's going to do well in lane and have control of the lane for the most part. Varus is one of those champs, just charge up the Q and shoot it, and that's mostly what you need to do.
Yeah, I don't think this team could play the like pick Ezreal and wait for like the 15-minute, 2-hour Ivan power spike because they need their starts to be explosive.
Right.
Usually that's how they take over the game, and so especially if their jungle mid lane aren't doing too well, and there's like I feel like a pretty big laning mismatch mid lane. Hai has not looked great, especially before jungle pressure. Even the first game, like he was really far behind, getting pressured a lot until Moon came. I think that they have to crutch on something, and that something should be their bot lane laning because I think that's the only thing they have the edge on against TSM.
All right, can FlyQuest do what no team has done yet this split and beat TSM in a third game? Meet us back here after the break to see if FlyQuest can take them down. Don't go anywhere.